I'm going to take you through the most simple node setup and how to use attributes and tokens in your code and execute the code. So once you've got NXT up and running, you'll be presented with this interface, and the center section is known as the stage. The stage is where you manage nodes and how those nodes are executed. So let's go ahead and build a node, right-click, add node, or press N. So once you have a node, there are properties that are associated with that node. This is like your attribute editor in Maya, sort of. And there's also a code block that's associated with this thing as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add some code here. I'll do a hello world. In the code block, and then press enter to go ahead and confirm that. And now that code block is associated with this node. Now, every time I make a change, you'll see that it adds into my history view, and I can step through that just like in Photoshop. I've got my log turned down, so it's only giving me my node out and my execute information. So with this node selected, I'm going to execute the selected node, and we'll see that the output from that node is indeed hello world. Good for us. Let's do something a little bit more interesting. I'm going to have it send a personalized message to me. So I'm going to add an attribute to this node. I'll call this attribute name. Give it a value of Zach. How do I access this attribute down in code? Well, that is done using a token. The syntax for that token is $ open curly brace, close curly brace, and then the name of the attribute will sit in between. Now, something to know about this is that we'll just simply take whatever the value is right here, and it will just simply stick it here. So if I were to execute this, of course I would get an error because Python wouldn't know what to do with just Zach. So I need to put this value inside here, and as soon as I press enter or click away, you'll see that it substitutes that value right into the code. So I'm going to execute this again. We'll look at our node out, execute selected, and now you can see that it's saying hello Zach. Pretty cool. Just a couple of quick notes before we wrap this one up. While you're editing your code, it's always displayed in raw view, and when you have clicked off, it can display in raw, resolved, or cache. You can access that up here with your raw view, your resolved view, or your cached view, and we'll go into the details a little bit more on that. The hotkeys for that are Q, W, and E to display those different states. All right, so in this one we learned about how to build a new node, how to add code, and how to add an attribute with a token and use that in our code, and then how to pare down the log a little bit.